Hi, Kate. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you.
Have we got are all the contestants in as well?
Let's have a little look. Looking at who we've got in here so far. Yeah, if you just have a look at the participants, there's 8 currently on the call.
Are they in the room?
It's Julie. The contestants should be joining via the virtual hub, so we shouldn't see them. I know Sunny is a colleague of mine, and I'm not sure about Tony Larkin, but we're waiting on Drew. He's just finishing up a session. Deborah, I think, is on her way.
Alison and Sir Robert.
Is Alison actually coming?
I'll follow Robert. Oh no, Alison's not down for this one actually.
Oh,
yeah, she was just doing the bench show.
Okay, I'll cross her.
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that from.
That was probably me actually, because she was in there originally, I'm sure. But she told me last night she wasn't able to do it because she thought she was going to be a contestant.
Oh.
If she knew she could have submitted a photograph, I think she would have been.
That makes sense, except we're judging solids, aren't we? Not gin.
Just to let you know, ladies, Tony Larkin is me. I'm just your tech guy in the background from Glasgow.
Oh, right.
Hi, Tony.
How are you all doing? All right?
Yeah, good.
Excellent, excellent. I'll just be muted in the background if you need me.
Okay. So Alison, we kind of stumbled through with cats and dogs last night.
I kind of got that impression from the email trail that I saw, and I get that because it's quite chaotic when people bring all their pets onto the forum, I guess.
You can understand why they don't have crofts for cats. I mean, I'd never get involved in a cat show again. Would you, Susmita?
I have to say, I thought that was especially challenging, the cat side of things. And that's as someone who's ambivalent about cats and dogs.
Yeah.
I've actually, and talking about small things that move, although he's not small anymore, I actually said to my son, do not come in when I'm on the call, because he's 16, he'll just wander in and start asking me about something, like where something is. I was like, do not interrupt me, do not interrupt me.
No, it's cool. It's cool if it happens. So what
16 years or 16 months?
16 years. It's just the risk of these kids whilst we're all working virtually, they don't seem to have any kind of any sort of respect or any kind of boundaries as to what you can and can't do. And I was on a call earlier in lockdown where he just walked in behind me just wearing a pair of small shorts. And I was literally trying to get my photograph off the screen whilst trying and on mute. So I could shoo him away from the call. So it's a bad experience.
Well, we'll look forward to that. We've only got 45 minutes, so you need to prep him. What I'll do is I'll tell all the contestants how it's going to work, and that will be getting them to introduce their bake. We've got some photos on email. Yeah, I've got another photo that's coming via my iPhone as well. Don't worry, I will manage it, and we'll get them to give a very short description, and then I'll come to the judges in turn to give an initial view and maybe ask a question or two. I'll keep an eye on the time during it, so I might have to speed you up. Last night got a bit chaotic.
Too long. Yeah, it was difficult, wasn't it? And as you say, animals are like children for some people. Take pictures. But do you have them? Because I'm not aware of any pictures.
Julie sent some pictures earlier, but fortunately for you, look, I've put them onto paper. It's not like I have anything else to do, is it?
Yeah, and you don't know how unclear that is either. That's a good one.
Come on, give me a break. I'm trying. But that's a funfetti cake. Is that good enough for you? There's some.
What's that? The email.
Look.
Looks like an ice cream.
But look, look at this one. Did you
What
see
could
this?
go wrong?
Oh, it's brilliant, that. I love that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's really amazing. That's the winner.
And look, there's a bottle of wine there. You'll like that one.
Yeah, I like that one too.
So I can hold them up if you like.
And Kate, the scoring, I just made some scorecards. Is that right?
Oh, at least someone has. Right, I better find mine then.
Didn't you just? Those are amazing. So what we'll do, we'll go through, and then at the end, we'll come to the judges, and I'll ask you to hold your scorecards up.
Which I can't find right now because I had them yesterday.
You haven't chucked them in hope, have you? Make some more.
I'm about, right. I want to try and find the photographs first.
Don't try and find the photographs as well. Just make your scoring cards, or just say 1 to 5.
I think I'll say 1 to 5 actually.
Hold your fingers up.
Yeah. And then I will try and add up really quickly without offending somebody by giving them a really terrible score when they've actually won.
You did really well yesterday, actually.
I
didn't check your addition though.
I bet you did. Yeah, I only had to add 2 numbers up at a time. That's why I didn't join in the scoring.
Yeah. And has she sent through all the photographs? Because
No.
I've only got 2, 4, 6 in mine.
No, someone.
Hi, Susmita. Sorry, I didn't have access to all of them, but I briefed all the contestants to bring the bake or the photo.
Okay. I'm just trying to find the right email because despite Kate's wonderful efforts at printing.
Those are the bee cupcakes.
Very good.
So Drew's still in a session. I've just chased up Deborah and Robert. I can't get hold of them at the moment, but I'm sure they can jump on. We can maybe wait another few minutes and see if they join.
If we wait another few minutes and then just bar them because it's too difficult to... No, I can do it.
I think the question is, the challenge gets difficult when we ask all these extra questions, you know. I think that's where it gets really hard.
What, as in too long?
Yeah. I mean, how many contestants are there? There's 16.
There aren't that many. There's 8.
One says meeting.
Oh, there's hardly any. Well, sorry, there's 8. There's 8 according to this list, if that's the right list. Yes, in which case there's 6. So yeah, maybe there is time in contrast to yesterday. Your cakes aren't going to run away.
Well, you'd hope, wouldn't you?
How many animals did you have yesterday?
Oh, we had about 15, and the trouble was cats just don't want to sit still, so they actually weren't there. We had
they were running after their cats and dogs, weren't they?
We had one complicated session of 3 bells being rung for picking up. There's Deborah Owen-Ellis Clark. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Deborah.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hiya. So brilliant. You're one of the judges, aren't you? And you're from People.
That's the one.
That's superb. Okay, we're going to start in a minute. So I'm going to introduce it. I'm going to introduce the judges. We've got Susmita, we've got Alison, we've got you. Hopefully we're going to have Andrew van Doorn and Robert Grundy, but if not, we'll just keep it going. We'll get the contestants to introduce their bakes, and then I will introduce you in turn to ask a couple of questions, have initial reactions, and at the end, we'll go back and score them out of 5. Does that make sense? Yeah? You're on mute. There's Andrew. Hello, lovely. How are you? You're on mute too.
Oh, I'm off mute now. I'm Mark. Thank you.
Should I just explain it for you, Andrew? Should I just explain it to everyone and then we can just get going? You're a consummate professional. I expect you to just keep up. All right. Okay. Well, I can see you laughing, sir. I didn't have gallery view last night. I didn't know you could do it. That's why I look foxed most of the time. So, Julie, when you tell me to go, I'll start.
Tony, all good to go?
All good at this end. Yeah, absolutely no problem.
Let's go for it.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. Welcome to the Virtual Housing Festival Bake Off. Possibly some of you are here because you heard about the pet show last night. The abuse has subsided a little bit. Having 15 cats and dogs on screen with their owners and a lively judging panel was incredible. It was great. Can I ask you to just put yourself on mute if you're not speaking just at the moment? That'd be grand. So you've submitted your bakes pictures in most cases. I think some of you have been baking today, which is very impressive. If not, you've been baking in the past, which is equally as impressive. It's a good second, frankly. Prepare to be disappointed. It's likely that you're going to lose tonight. Only one prize is on offer, and that's a £100 voucher to the Trussell Trust. So that's fantastic. We're all winners as far as we're concerned. I'm going to introduce you to the judges, and then I'm going to tell you how it's going to work. So me and Kate Dodsworth from Gateway Housing. We've got Andrew van Doorn, Chief Executive of HACT. We've got Deborah Owen-Ellis Clark, Director of Marketing at Places for People. Alison Wilkinson, Group Customer Development Manager at Mears, I think. And we've got Susmita Sen, Chief Exec of Tower Hamlets Homes. Sir Robert Grundy, have you joined us? No, we haven't got Sir Robert Grundy, but you have got a fantastic array of judges and pretty much one-to-one on bakes, so that's quite good. And the bakes are static, so they're not going to run away or leave the camera, which is great. Susmita and I are very, very grateful after last night. So how it's going to work, I'm going to come to each contestant. You're going to introduce your bake with a very short description. Judges will give their initial view, ask a question. Do use the chat facility if you're just here as a voyeur to give your comments. And then at the end, judges will be asked to give their scores between 1 and 5. So this is where your personal resilience is going to come in to the fore, because it's all for fun. And at the end, in the event of a tie, my vote, my decision is final, and I'm not very good at this, so do prepare yourself. Okay, we've got some fantastic bakes, and I'm going to attempt to show you some pictures. We've got, first of all, Claire. Have we got you here? Claire from the University of Manchester and your Manchester Worker Bee cupcakes. Are you with us? Take yourself off mute if you are. No, well, I'm going to take over for Claire because she sent us an email earlier of her Worker Bee cupcakes, and I hope that you can see those. Yeah? Yeah, good. Okay, those are beautiful Worker Bee cupcakes, and they're to highlight Manchester and the plight of bees in the UK, and housing has a role to play in the solution. So I think those are pretty good cupcakes with a social purpose, but Claire isn't here to defend them. Right, contestant number 2. Judges, sorry, do you want to talk about the bee cupcakes, or do you want to actually go to a live person?
I want to talk about the bee cupcakes.
Okay, Andrew, go on. Why not?
Could you hold up the photo again, please?
Yes, I could.
Okay.
Yeah, I could. That's
a bit too quick.
I'm managing those on email. Let me try and make it a bit bigger. But
Genius.
Oh, okay, got them.
I can go bigger again. I've got another photo. If this isn't interrupting proceedings too much, bloody Mary Berry doesn't have to do this, does she? Right,
Fantastic.
okay. You get the idea. Andrew, sorry, your initial reaction.
So I think, first of all, Tracy Leith has just said on the chat that I'm a master baker. So thank you, Tracy, for that confidence, setting me up to fail. I want to say, just honestly, cupcakes rock, first thing to say. Second thing is cupcakes with a social purpose. I'm going to have to create a social value for that. No idea I'm going to do that, but I'm going to have to put that into the UK Social Value Bank. And actually eating cupcakes with a social purpose, just think about the yumminess and the glow you will get from such endeavour. I just think that's brilliant. So I love a bee cupcake, and I hope they taste just as good as they look.
Andrew, can you confirm, have you been drinking before this session?
Not just yet, but that can be arranged.
Thank you. Claire Brown, you've joined us, and we've been showing your cupcakes. I've been showing them on my iPhone, and yeah, there's one live. There's one, judges.
Oh, that's much better.
Andrew has been giving his initial response to them, and I'm going to move along to Deb to just give your initial thoughts, if that's okay.
Well, I have to confess a bias. Bees are my thing because my name stands for being Egyptian, and I named my consultancy way back when, the Bee Group, when I was consulting. So I have a very conscious bias towards bees, so they get my vote definitely.
Wow, okay, we weren't expecting that, but that's, I mean, not that it wasn't going to get your vote, but the link, that's incredible. And Alison, thoughts from you?
So I live about an hour north of Manchester. I live in Lancaster, so I'm really up for this whole bee theme. I love the fact that the bee theme has come to the forefront. It's current, it's topical, and I love the cupcake. I mean, the question I would ask is, how were those bees made? Because they're just fantastic. And our baker did our baker join?
Yeah, Claire's here. Just take
Claire.
yourself off mute, Claire, and answer that question about how you made the bee.
Quite easy, to be honest. This is my first foray into fondant work, and it's a little ball of fondant, of yellow fondant, and then I'll show that one up again, and then 2 little blobs of black icing, and then I've just kind of wrapped around black fondant, and then these are actual flaked almonds for wings.
Nice.
And then on the back is it's white chocolate poured over bubble wrap to kind of look like honeycomb.
Genius.
Wow.
Brilliant. I really like this. They look great.
Susmita, have you?
Smoke and mirrors. All smoke and mirrors is cake decorating.
Susmita, I'm coming to you for some comment.
Oh, I was really interested in, you've explained that you've used fondant. I was actually going to ask you what flavour they are, and if you've made many of these cakes or other types of cupcakes before. So what's the flavour?
They're not honey flavoured. Only because I literally have realised I've run out of honey. And I get my honey from a local, what's the correct word, beekeeper down the road, so I need to go get some more. So they're actually lemon, because I thought lemon works well with the yellow. I think in the invite it said I should say kind of a bit about who I am, so this might be a good opportunity. So I used to be a sustainability manager at a construction company in the Northwest. And I'm now actually doing a PhD in heating and cooling demand in housing, but I'm also a teaching fellow at Salford University on geography and environmental management. And obviously biodiversity matters are kind of at the forefront, and so you've got the kind of the save the bee kind of thing, so the reduced mowing. But also in Manchester, the bee is kind of a symbol of the kind of the worker bees, and has historically for, I want to say, over 100 years, at least Victorian. So it's kind of a double-edged biodiversity for housing projects, and also a kind of link to, I guess, my Manchester working life and kind of university life.
Claire, thank you for that. And thank you for introducing the cupcakes to us. We like those, but we're going to have to move on because we're going to run out of time otherwise. But thank you. Stick with us. Catherine, I'm going to come to you for your funfetti cake. And I'm going to show a picture of the funfetti cake. Yeah. Look at that. So, Catherine, are you around? Can you just unmute and give us a couple of lines on that funfetti cake, please? Hello.
I am here. The quick line on that funfetti cake is that that's the Google image of said funfetti cake. The actual funfetti cake looks nothing like the Google image, but is here, if you can see.
Tricked us. I feel tricked.
You're gonna have to take.
I didn't mean to trick you.
It was Ocean Media that tricked me.
Can you take the
There
dome
you
off?
go.
Take the dome off.
Oh, I see. Look
The
at
dome
that.
off. Hold on.
Take the dome off so we can see it in all its glory. It's funfetti.
It's glory. Bear with.
Oh my.
Oh, wow. Have you cut it? Can you cut it through?
I could do. I haven't done that yet. It might cause some kind of avalanche.
Oh.
Well, I think that's what we'd do if we were on a bake-off, isn't it?
Yes,
We'd have to
we
see
would
if
cut it.
cooked.
I can go and get a knife if you'd like.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Good.
Okay, bear with. Hold on.
Okay. Whilst you do that, I'm going to come back to you, Catherine, if that's okay, to cut the cake, just to keep things moving. Can we just go to Sheridan? Because Sheridan's baked a sourdough loaf over her lunch break. I suppose you're going to tell me this isn't your bread now. All I can see is the carriage clock. Catherine?
Yeah.
Just don't cut the cake. Don't cut it yet. We've just moved on to Sheridan because I didn't know how long it was going to take you to get a knife, love. Just hold on, hold that cake. I'm going to come back. Right, Sheridan, is this your bread? Or is that a Google image? Sheridan, are you here? Right, we're going to go back to Catherine. Show us that knife. Let me have a good look at the blade.
I'm a bit concerned.
Oh yeah, all right. Let's have a cut of that cake. Let's have a look.
Oh, excellent. Can we like?
Don't take a run at it. Just do it nicely.
Some kind of dramatic music is needed.
Okay.
I'm the pendant.
Yeah. I bet this was a gift for someone, wasn't it? I bet it was a gift for someone, and now we're just ruining it. It's going through nice and firm. I'll do a bit of narrative as we go along, if that's helpful.
Is that what Mary Berry said?
It's cutting like it's cooked, isn't it?
Hold on.
Oh!
Wow. Wow.
Excellent.
Okay,
Thank you.
That's
there like?
superb.
Does it feel fun and confetti like?
Sorry.
Does it feel fun and confetti like?
Yes, it does feel fun and confetti-like. I also need to point out that I have baked this whilst also doing 7 conference calls today.
We've all been there. That's fantastic, and I hear that's going to the Ocean Media office tomorrow.
It is. It's the cake to accompany our Fizz for the Housing Heroes Awards.
I think that's absolutely fantastic. Cut it up some more. Cut it up some more. Okay, Andrew, you've given an initial response. Deb, I'm coming to you.
Sorry, excuse me. I've just said on the chat, I'm going to the office tomorrow. I want to taste some of that cake.
It looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Alison.
One question I always wonder when I see these confetti cakes, because I'm quite a baker myself, how do you stop the confetti and the little strands from all losing their colour whilst they're cooking?
I didn't stop them losing their colour. They all lost their colour.
Oh, I kind of thought
that's very honest.
And that's the challenge, isn't it? But it looks pretty good.
It looks fantastic. And Susmita, any initial responses or questions?
I was actually going to ask: Are we on Sheridan? Or are we still on the funfetti as it's?
We're on the funfetti cake as well. You would have known if you hadn't got up and left.
I could hear you. I could hear you. Honest. Every word, Paul. I think you're Mr. Hollywood rather than Mary Berry. I was actually going to ask, why is it called a funfetti cake? You all seem to be aware of this. I've never heard of them.
So you put hundreds and thousands in the mix, and when you bake it on the defrost setting, which I did first off, when you cut it open, you can see all the colours.
Oh,
obviously
wow,
you can't in this one.
Gotcha.
But you know, imagine it.
You said you.
It looks amazing.
Setting.
Yeah, it's the first, we've just moved house. It was the first bake in the new oven, so temporarily went on the frost setting, but I think it will taste good.
I'm impressed that your oven has a frost setting.
Who knew?
Who knew?
I've never heard of that, but that's great. Well, thank you, Catherine, and thank you for cutting that cake, and thank you for being so honest that it wasn't in fact that one. Sheridan, have you come into the? Are you here, Sheridan? No, well, she baked a lovely sourdough lunch loaf at a break, which is great. Debbie, I'm coming to you. Debbie at Peabody. I have a picture of a beautiful chocolate and raspberry fudge cake. Is that yours or is it Google? Debbie, you're on mute.
I thought Sheridan appeared then.
I did. I am just confused.
Yes.
Okay, Sheridan, tell us about your bread.
Show you my buns.
Do that. Why not? Oh
They're
my
enormous.
goodness!
Wow, they're massive.
Wow,
I know they are. Don't look.
they're huge. And you did them in your lunch break today.
Yeah, I made them yesterday. So I've been a fan of sourdough starter, and been having good fun with that over the last few months. So I got the starter going yesterday, and they proved last night in the oven. And not in the oven, in the outside actually. And then today at lunchtime they were nicely risen and went in the oven. So there you go, 2 sourdough loaves. I haven't bought bread since March now.
Wow,
that's pretty cool. So yeah, good fun. They're nice.
Andrew, I bet you've got a question or a comment on those buns, haven't you?
I'd like to know what is your sourdough starter made with?
Flour and water.
Just flour and water?
That's it. And to be fair, in the very first instance, actually, it did have live yogurt in it, with the tiniest bit, but that was back in March. So it's just flour and water.
And of course, the next question is, who are you going to give a bit of your sourdough starter to? Because that is the tradition.
Well, you know, and I have been very generous over these months. All my neighbours have had sourdough starter. Yeah, it's kept them going, kept the community atmosphere and all that. And my neighbours have had loads of bread and things because they've been buying me flour and I can't get any. So it's been quite a good bit of trade-off across the community.
There has been a lot of sourdough action on Twitter over the lockdown, but those are really impressive. So, Deb, welcome back. Have you got any thoughts on the? No, I'll come back to you. Why not have your dinner? Why not, Alison? Have you got any thoughts on the buns?
So I've never made a sourdough. So my quick question is, how long does it take to bake a sourdough?
A long time. A real long time. So you have to get the starter to rise, and that takes 4 or 5 hours for it to rise properly, to be all squidgy and bubbly and ready. And then you put that in with the other ingredients, which is just flour, sugar, salt, and a bit of water. Put those together, mix that up, then leave that to rise, and that takes like 4 to 5 hours. So I leave that overnight. Then you form it and leave it to rise again for a bit, and then it takes about an hour to cook when you eventually get there. But there's no way could I do it when I was in the office. It's a perfect thing to be doing though when you're working from home, because you've got those odd times and you can think, okay, I'll leave that overnight, I'll do that bit before I start work, put that in the oven at lunchtime. Works all right.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Debbie, are you back with us?
Yeah, sorry, I'm hungry with all these lovely plates of food and we're not getting any tasters. I'm very impressed with the sourdough. They're perfectly round, perfectly formed, as Mary Berry would say. I wouldn't have the patience, frankly, being honest.
Very impressive. And Susmita, I know you're no stranger to sourdough, are you?
I'm not a stranger, absolutely. And I'm really, I want the recipe actually. I was going to ask Shoten, who is her favourite baker? Where did she get her sourdough recipe from? Because I haven't dared to go down this path of sourdough yet.
Don't do it. Just don't do it, because it's totally addictive. Once you start, then you think, okay, I've started this now. I can't bear to kill it off. I'll just make another loaf. So my weight is, ballooning, and it's all good fun. But hey ho, it's just, I think it's BBC Good Food or something like that. It was just an easy sourdough starter. But yeah, I'm not sure how I'm going to bring this to an end. That's the problem.
I know the feeling.
Are you?
Thank you. Those are magnificent, magnificent buns. Now, has anyone seen Debbie? I don't know. You go to the effort of making a big Google chocolate raspberry fudge cake, and then you're not there to defend it. Rachel, you've been waiting very patiently, and I'm coming to talk to you about your phenomenal cupcakes. Are they there?
Oh yeah, do you want me to share them?
Yeah.
How do I share my screen? Oh gosh. 1 second. Can you see them?
No.
No, not yet. Have you got permission to share it?
I don't know.
Rachel, you should be able to click share screen, and then you'll get a window.
Yeah.
And then within that window is all the other windows that are open on your computer. So within there should be the picture that you want.
All right, 1 sec.
The voice of the technician.
I know, impressive. Now it's disappeared, of course. 1 sec. Oh.
Have you got them for real to show us? Hold them up in front of the screen.
No, because I've already eaten them.
Sarah, you've got some pictures there. Could you hold yours up to the screen?
Oh.
Sarah Palin, have you got some pictures of the cupcakes? You're on mute. You're on mute, Sarah. Yes.
I've got another photo on my phone.
Okay, just turn your mic off. Rachel, look, we'll come back to you if we've got time, because if you haven't got the cupcakes to show us, then we're going to have to be quite harsh. We'll come back to you. But I want to go to Victoria. Hello, Victoria.
Hello.
Hello. You made a rather marvellous birthday.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. You made a fantastic cake for your daughter Jessica. Oh, okay. I'll keep going until you come back in. You have frozen a bit.
There you go. I'm back. I'm back.
Okay. I'm back. We're on about your daughter's
It was the
cake.
excitement about my cakes. That's what it was. So I physically haven't got mine with me, but this is what I created for my daughter during lockdown, because she couldn't have her birthday party. And she was doing extremely well with her homeschooling. To be fair, Mummy has relearned her maths. Completely forgotten what fractions were, and so I created this. And it's special because it took over 2 weeks to do the sugar icing, mainly because I have really bad arthritis, and it hurts my hands to do each section. So it's always a bit of a challenge to do something. And then I've got, just in case you think I did get it from the internet, my step-by-step bits of how I did each bit, just in case I ever want to do it again. But yes,
that is really impressive, and I like the picture of that. Look, I've got a picture of it too. I like it. Right, Andrew, come on. Where's your?
So what's the name of the? Is it a unicorn?
Yes, it is. It's a unicorn little doll that my daughter is my favourite. It's her favourite kind of character, and she loves, in her words, teal and purple, which is hilariously funny. She's always said it is teal, not aqua, mummy. It's teal. She's 7, going on 17, But yeah, she wanted a party and we had to do something at home. So I thought, well, if I did a nice cake, at least that would be something we could all enjoy.
And you made some fondant. You made that
yes,
that
yes.
is really, really,
yeah. So
really
these are the little sections of me doing each bit, so that
brilliant.
Yeah, just in case I fancy doing it again. And it then fed the entire neighbourhood that we had a little happy sing song, because it happened on a Thursday. So when we went out for the clap for the NHS, we then shared cake. We left it on doorsteps, so it involved the whole community, which was really good, because I'm on the board for SOA housing, but I'm a tenant and live in the local area, and so basically we were trying to get a bit of a positive stereotype of social housing tenants rather than the negative view of it. So we thought if we could share something positive during that time, then that would be good too. So
that's fab. Okay,
elbow.
Deb.
Brilliant.
I am apart from being muted, I'm lost for words. It's yeah, I just
split it down into sections so that I can do it slowly, because my hands are all wonky. Basically, I got really ill when I was fine before my daughter was born, and then 7 years ago I got bed ridden with arthritis, so I have to do it in very small little sections. And so one day I'll do like the arms, the next day I'll do the hair.
Amazing.
So that I can do it slowly, and then obviously the cake just happens to happen in one day. But this year my daughter actually really enjoyed helping, so she learnt it as well. So and then she did the project.
I hope the cake didn't go stale by the time you were or did you do that bit last?
The cake gets done last, so the cake's done, and then all the bits that decorate it are done like in 2 weeks. So I do little bits and keep them in little mainly her packed lunch containers, which happen to not be used at the moment, so we put them all in there and then we put it all together. So
and how did it taste?
It actually was nice. I was like quite relieved, because I was like, oh my god, I put it around all the neighbours, and nobody complained and said they had food poisoning, so win-win.
Brilliant.
It was a lemon and vanilla. So
delicious.
Okay, we're going to move things along. Alison.
Yeah, I was just going to say, fantastic. What I love about your story, Victoria, of the cake, is that not only did you do something amazing for your daughter, but everybody benefited in quite a challenging time. And I know that certainly in the community that I live in, the claps have been a really big focal point for us all to get together. And I think that we've certainly formed as a road and sort of really bonded through lockdown. And it's been one of the benefits that's come out of COVID. So
and we're actually taking it forward now. We're doing a community project. So we're going to do something on loneliness going forward as well, supported by the Housing Association. So it's led to other things. So
brilliant.
Okay, it's a starting point.
We lost Susmita temporarily. Are you back in, Susmita? Okay, we'll move on. Thank you, Victoria. That was an amazing cake, an amazing bake. And Giles, have we got you? Because you've done a fishing themed birthday cake for your son for his 7th birthday, which I think I have a photo of here. Are you around, Giles?
Oh, I am indeed.
Do you want me to show the photo?
You can do, yes.
Is that the cake? Is that the cake that you made?
That's the cake, yes.
Yeah, it's so impressive, and that is coarse fishing, isn't it? That is not fly fishing or sea fishing tackle. That's coarse fishing tackle, that is. And that is, what fish is that?
It's meant to be a carp.
I thought as much. Thank you. Do you want to introduce the cake further?
Yes, okay. So every year for the last 4 years, I've made a cake for my son. He's 7 this year, so that was his 7th birthday. The reason why I started was about 4 years ago, I was meant to have had one made and I forgot. I spoke to the lady, she wasn't able to produce the cake on time, so I ended up having to do one myself. So every year I've just decided to make one for the boy.
Wow, it's fun. Andrew.
This is genius. And after I got over the fact that it wasn't a hypodermic needle, I did have to just check it wasn't. Can I just ask, is there a bit of kind of airbrushing technique going on there? And a bit of haze technique going on?
Yeah, so it's all been airbrushed. It's all fondant icing. The fish is made out of Rice Krispies and marshmallows, all melted together, icing on top, and then yeah, I've airbrushed it.
I think your airbrushing technique is marvelous. And can I just also ask, does the fish have a name?
I didn't give it a name, no. Harpy, maybe.
You ate it though. The fish with no name was eaten.
It was devoured by about 20 children. Yeah.
Excellent. All socially distancing, of course.
Yes.
Of course. Thank you.
Most impressive. Deb.
All I can think of is that singing sea bass that used to hang on people's walls, and when you walked past, it sort of flapped its tail. So I can't quite believe this is edible. Are you sure it's not a sea bass? How does it taste? The marshmallow and Rice Krispie sounds absolutely delicious.
It was, yeah. The cake was a chocolate sponge cake. And then the outside, so the fish is the fish is sitting on top of what should be a unhooking mat. So the ring around the outside, I used Cadbury's chocolate rolls.
It sounds absolutely amazing. I'd like to eat it now very much. Alison.
I just think it's genius using the Rice Krispie and marshmallow, because my biggest fear on making a cake like that is how do you form the shape? You know, I've had several failed attempts at trying to form a sponge cake into a shape, not always a fish, never done the fish, but other kind of requests that my boys have made over the years. But that's just genius, having that moldable kind of surface to use. So I'm going to nick that idea off you, Giles, and pass that off as my own.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you.
Susmita, you're back with us.
Yes,
have you
and
time to peruse the fish?
I can see the fish. I was actually going to ask Giles how long he's been baking. He told us about why he found himself baking, but actually how long has he been doing so?
Oh, crikey. I think I've been baking probably ever since I left the army, maybe about 15 years ago.
Wow. And I mean, I have to say, it's absolutely amazing. It's you know, it's so professional, but not everything goes well in baking, as you all know. So tell us about disaster. Have you had any, or have you been very lucky?
Yeah, no, I've had some terrible disasters. The actual chocolate sponge for that cake, that was my second attempt.
Yeah.
The first one I took out of the oven too soon, and it dipped, had a big hole in the middle.
Yeah.
So yeah, panic stations. And a couple of Christmases ago, I was meant to have made for a dinner party a lot of gingerbread houses, and unfortunately, I forgot and left most of them in the oven, and they burnt. And this was the night before the meal, so yeah.
We can all relate to that. No, I think it's amazing, absolutely amazing.
Well done, Giles. Fantastic bake. I think someone's smoke alarm is going off right now as well, by the sound of it. And we're on to John Verge, and your sourdough bread, which I rather like because it had a bottle of wine in the background there. Look.
Yes. So that is my bread. Yeah. Like others have said, I've really enjoyed doing the sourdough over the lockdown. I've been doing it for about 6 years now. My brother-in-law, it was a Christmas present actually. He taught me how to make sourdough, which was one of his kind of jobs. He's kind of owns a cafe, and they do their own sourdough. So he taught me how to do sourdough, and as it previously explained, it's a love that you grow to and a frustration sometimes, because it does consume you in terms of it's not just doing it over a couple of hours. It can take days and sometimes longer to get the perfect sourdough. I've been baking for my neighbours. We swap produce, so I normally put a loaf on the back wall on a Friday evening, and then some point during the weekend I'll get some cookies or cakes from neighbours. So that's been fantastic. I guess the other thing I just wanted to mention, and I don't know whether I can share a picture, but baking, as I said, is a passion for me. So over the lockdown, and I think I'll show a picture now. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know. Can you see that?
Look at your scones.
Yeah, that.
Love the
well,
hat.
yeah, they're not the best. To be fair, they're not the best. Well, the picture below is a picture my wife took of before the bake off. So one of the things we did with our staff, who once we closed our Manchester office and down, and obviously everybody started to work from home, who work across the country because we're a national specialist housing provider. We had lots of Zoom calls, we had lots of team calls, but we wanted to do something that was more social. So one of the things that I was asked to do, this was at the end of May, was to do a bake along. So I did a half an hour, and I've got so much respect for those people that do the TV work, because even though I'd made these cheesy scones many times before, to do it live, to do it and explain what you're doing at the same time was really difficult, and it worked really well. We got some really good pictures on
the presentation.
so that was the tweet that we did that day for me, and this was people watching me across the country. As you can see, the funny thing with the milk, I'd got all the ingredients out like they do on the telly. The only thing I'd forgotten was the milk, so there was a stage where I had to go over to the fridge, and my wife was holding the camera at
John,
half an hour, although she did half.
This sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm going to have to hand over to the judges.
Yeah.
Because we're going to run out of time, so we've got to score them in a minute. So if the tech people can get us off, but that's it. Fantastic. Drew, quick response.
Quick response. Love a scone. Just got back from Devon today, so I'm quite liking of a scone. 2 questions. John, did you realise your ears were going to look that big when you put the hat on? First question.
Yes.
And the second question is, does your sourdough thing, does it have a name?
Does it have a name? No, it doesn't have a name. It's 7 years old though. I just call it sourdough.
No, I think you need to give it. If it's 7 years old, it's about time you gave it a name, don't you think?
Yeah, I'll come up with a name.
Thank you.
I'll come up with a name.
Thanks, Drew. Deb, any quick reaction from you?
I'd just like to know whether any of John's sourdoughs ever cracked a tooth, because sometimes the crust can be pretty crunchy.
To be honest with you, the longer you bake it, the better, I think, because one of the great things about sourdough is the toast. I mean, it gets better. I mean, my sourdough sometimes, because I make lots at the weekend, and sometimes we can have sort of 2 or 3 on the go. Actually, a sourdough that's 3 or 4 days old is actually better for toast. So you do have to be careful, yes, particularly with the dentures, if you've got dentures.
Okay, and Alison.
Yeah, I was just going to pick up on a point that you made, John, where you were talking about a good sourdough. How do you know if it's a good sourdough or not?
Oh, well, the great thing about lockdown and being home is about timing. You can literally leave it 10 minutes over proofing, and you can end up with a complete mess where it literally, you bring it out of the proving batter and it can just collapse in the oven. So timing is everything. And actually being home, and I'm in the kitchen at the moment, but sometimes obviously I've got to study upstairs, is setting the alarm clock just to keep an eye on it. So yeah, I'd say timing is everything. But once you get it right, and every sourdough looks different. Every one that comes out the oven, it looks completely different.
Timing, I tell you, Susmita.
I have to say, I think all the judges have asked the questions that I would have done, so you're off the hook, John.
Okay, and thank you.
Thank you.
So, massive theme across the board here. By the way, Rachel, did you ever get a picture of your cupcakes? No cupcakes. So we've got to bring this to a close. Okay, Rachel. Oh my! Can you just hold it a bit closer? Well, is there an animal on there? Oh yeah. Oh, those are lovely.
Oh wow.
Those are absolutely gorgeous. And I don't feel, unless Sarah Palin tells us that we can go on for a little bit longer, I don't feel that we've got the time to...
It's fine.
questions about it, but they are very, very beautiful. Judges, one word to sum up those cupcakes. Drew.
Unicorn green-tastic.
Well, that's not one word. Deb.
Bye.
Lost for words, sorry.
Alison.
Phenomenal.
Thank you. Susmita.
Green.
Thank you very much. Right, judges, I'm going to ask you to get your scores ready. Either you have your 1 to 5 little cards or you have your hands. Don't worry, I'll add it up. It'll all be fine. Right.
Kate,
yes.
Quick question, because I missed 2, possibly 3 of the contestants' submissions, and I don't know if they can waive them or they've got photos, because I don't have them all.
Which ones did you miss?
So Debbie was, I don't know if Debbie did reappear.
Debbie just didn't show up.
So it's Rachel and Victoria.
Okay, Rachel, we've just seen those cupcakes and you said green. And Victoria's holding up her unicorn cake there, which you can see.
Yeah, I've seen.
Okay. You're back in
Amazing.
the game. You're back in the game. Well done, mate. Okay.
Kate, could you just tell us what the, I know that it's slightly vague, random judging process, but what's the gig? Do we just hold up our fingers free? Because how do I score a sourdough against a cupcake?
Well, I know, but we have so few entries that we are literally going to have to compare apples and pears.
Go with your heart.
Like dogs
Go
and
with
cats.
Your heart.
So you can say the number, you can hold up a finger, you can hold up a scoring sheet with a number on it, and I'm going to try and capture it and add it up. Oh, my beating heart. Right, for the 3rd time, Claire Brown and her Manchester Worker Bee cupcakes. Andrew, I'm coming to you first. It's all, I like that. It's a 3. Thank you. Deb.
I'm a 3.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you. Alison. 4. Yeah, love it. I'm loving these scoring cards.
You've got too much time on your hands.
Susmita.
And I'm a 3 as well.
You're a 3. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll add that up while we go on to the next one. And it was Catherine and the funfetti cake, if you can remember that. We cut it live on air, which was rather exciting. So Drew, that's a 4. Thank you very much. Deb.
3.
That's a 3. Got it. Alison. It's a 3. And Susmita.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. Thank you very much. Sheridan and her amazing sourdough loaves. Hello, hiya. Drew. 3. Gotcha. Deb. 3. This is very exciting, isn't it? It's like Eurovision. Alison. It's a 3. And Susmita.
It's a 4.5 for me.
It's a 4.5. Get you and your complicating adding up bits for me at the end.
Absolutely.
Hey, Rachel, thank you for your cupcakes. I'm sorry we didn't get to ask questions, but let's score it anyway. Drew, the green cupcakes, love them. It's a 2.
Oh, God.
I know. I'm right. Okay.
I've got no
Deb.
backstory to it.
Sorry, I'm a 2-2. A 2 as well.
This is what happens when the judges don't talk to you about your bakes. Alison. 3 and Susmita.
Just because I'm difficult, 2.5.
Thank you very much. I will enjoy that adding up as well. Right, Victoria and your amazing unicorn cake. Let's hold it up again for Susmita. And Drew, I'm coming to you. I hope the tension's mounting. It's a 5. It's a 5. We've had our first 5. That's the bake-off version of a golden buzzer. And Deb.
5.
And you've got a cat.
I've got a cat.
Night and a 5. It's all going to pot here. Okay, Alison. It's a 5.
Yay!
Don't leave the room, everyone else. Don't leave the room. Susmita, give me a 1.5.
Actually, it was a 4.
It's a 4. Gotcha. And Giles and his amazing carp cake. Drew.
It's another 5.
It's another 5. You're using that 5 with gay abandon now. Deb, it's a 5. It's a 5. You two, you're at it as well. Deb. Sorry, Alison. It's a 4. And Susmita.
It's a
It's
fantastic
a
5.
It's a 5. The judges want there to be a tie. They want there to be fisticuffs at the end. And John, and your is it your sourdough bread or your cheesy scones? I just don't know. What are we judging?
I'm not going to win anyway, so I'm happy whichever.
Well, that's hardly the attitude, is it? Drew.
It's a 4.
4. I'm going to add in a 5 for that. Deb.
I'm going to go for the cheesy scones because I love cheesy scones, and it's a 4 from me.
Okay, thank you very much. And Alison? 4. It's a 4. And Susmita?
It's a 4.5.
It's a 4.5. Right, because you've given me the halves, Susmita. Can you just talk to people about what you've enjoyed baking over lockdown, just while I add up? Thank you very much.
What have I enjoyed baking? For me, it's been a bit like some of you, actually. I've discovered baking. I used to hate making desserts and cakes, but actually for me, I've done loads of scones and made lots and lots of scones. So it was really interesting seeing those. And the other one that I've been watching, because we haven't talked much about chefs and bakers, I'm actually a dab hand at making soda bread, in fact. And I can do it now without looking at the recipe. So curious to hear whether anyone else has tried that, because we focused a lot on sourdough this evening.
It's true, isn't it, that you actually can make it totally blindfolded as well?
I can now.
You can,
with my tin.
Well, that's impressive. Well, look, there's been some fantastic lockdown stories. Clearly, baking has bonded us all over lockdown, and hopefully we'll take it on through. But I can say there is a tie at the top. Well done, everybody. Your bakes have been absolutely amazing. But Victoria and your unicorn cake, and Giles and your fish cake, you're tied. You're tied. Well done. Absolutely well done. This is a very, very close run thing. This is very, very difficult. I don't want personal abuse afterwards. The pet show was bad enough last night. But I am just going to edge it. You're both winners. You both won. But I'm just going to edge it for the Trussell Trust, Victoria. Yeah. Congratulations. Well done, everybody. This has been really the highlight of my afternoon.
Well done, everyone.
And thank you to the judges. Thank you to the contestants. Thank you to Ocean Media. And keep on baking. See you soon, everyone.
Take care.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Oh, look, animals. Bye.